with a friend. Got to hang out with him. We just got back from Wendy's. My hair is actually crazy, so I'm probably going to cut it. But just want to remind you, you're not too much for God if you feel like your dreams or goals or whatever, and you just feel cast out and you don't feel like you deserve love or deserve anything. God is able to help you out. He knows how to heal you. Arrow, what's up, man? He knows how to help you find the healing that you need. He's able to help you to meet the people you need to meet to help you become the person that he sees you becoming. So you're not too much for him. You can meet those people that he has set forward that will help you grow as you move in faith. That's really what a lot of this comes down to. Faith leads to healing. And that was back in Jesus' time too. Jesus would often ask the person, do you have faith to be healed? Do you have faith to do this thing? Even if you haven't seen it yet, do you trust that on the other side of your faith, that there will be a reason, there will be a good reason, that there will be something beneficial for you? I think this is tough for me. I think my faith is being tested, and that I'm learning more and more that I'm not too much for God, even if I'm too much for other people. Like, there's some people who may be like, dude, like, no, I'm not too much for God. So you just have to keep showing up. You have to keep showing up and being patient and trusting the process because I wasn't planning on doing a live stream here today. I was planning on doing a live stream somewhere else, but this is where it worked out. This is where we're doing it. So I don't know. I just think of like times back in college and other times where you don't really want to ask for help because you feel like self conscious about it. Um, but then you ask for help, you would tell the teacher about what's going on or whatever, and you would be surprised. You'd be surprised how much help is on the other side of that act of faith, that quick little phone call or whatever that might be. You would be surprised. So it's beautiful when God puts those people in your life that like echo his love for you and help you to understand his love better. I think there's always going to be some disconnects. There's going to be some things. Life is experience that we all learn a lot from, but ultimately you're going to get let down. You're going to have people that drop the ball on you, or you're going to drop the ball on other people, and there might even be some resulting trauma from that. Maybe the relationship was irreparably severed because of something you did, or somebody took something too far that you said or whatever. But at the end of the day, you always will have God. You will always have him. And so just continue to cherish the time you spend with him, and know that he will take care of you. So you're not too much for him. He's able to come through in big and mighty ways. So it takes time though. It takes time. There's a needed process for whatever healing or whatever you want to become, and that process needs to be followed and it needs to be trusted. It's it's important that you recognize that over time God is going to gradually help you to grow and say things that maybe you hadn't been able to say before, and to see things that maybe you weren't able to see before in yourself. And that will help you to be a lot better in the future. I actually talked with somebody about this today. I was telling them about how I had this breakup and I went through this really difficult time from that, but how God was there for me, and just how I came out of that sharper than I was before. So you need to recognize that you're not too much for God. He's able to lift you up and to take you to some place that's higher, some place that's better. Better places, better people, better feelings, better moments, better creations, better everything. And a lot of that is faith. A lot of that is faith. It's that faith to keep going. Sometimes you want to stop, or you feel like you want to stop, but you need to keep going because maybe you're not at that blessing yet. Maybe you're not there. Maybe you just have to keep walking and keep going in faith And that's frustrating because maybe you feel like you've been doing this for a long time and you've been very good for the most part and faithful. Like, well, where's the blessing? Where's the help? And you can't expect that God's going to have some big, amazing blessing every single time that you make any little decision of faith. But you do expect to have some level of, need to have some level of belief from the good that you do. You would hope that things would get better, that you would have something happen that puts you in a better place. So it's been humbling that ever since I moved to Utah, I've had multiple experiences that have helped me to see that I'm not too much for God. I can tell him what's going on, and he does not berate me or upset me for that. Yeah, I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah. So, it just takes time. But you can tell him anything that's going on. You can tell him where you're hurting. You can tell him difficult things that you're struggling with. For me, sometimes I go back to things from the past and I replay it over and over in my brain, and that's not helpful. But you can call out to God and ask him for help with that. You can ask him for help with just letting go of the things that you need to let go of. Life is difficult. It's much more difficult when you include any kind of sin or any kind of rebellion or any kind of distraction that takes you away from where you need to be. I think there's sometimes people want to have a life without a lot of these temptations and things. So it's like, well, then there wouldn't be any test really. So it's important to have these tests. The tests show you what you want ultimately, and the choice is to choose that quicker and more fluently, and to not fold. It's to be bold for God, to speak up, to do what needs to be done. I've certainly had those times where I already feel like I'm running on empty, and then I get some prompting to reach out to somebody, and so I miss it, and or maybe I don't miss it, but all this kind of goes back to say it's like I feel like I'm too much, or I have all these things going on in my brain and I can't keep it straight. Like, why can't I think like a normal person? Why can't I just be like settle for a 9 to 5 and be okay with that? But I think we're all built differently, and end of the day, you're not too much for God. He has provision. He has ways to like build you up and prepare you for something much bigger. Um, if you're willing to trust him, if you're willing to trust him, like there's literally so much help, so much strength, so much love, so much just joy on the other side of walking with him. And he's okay with you making mistakes. Just get back up. It says in Micah 7:8, rejoice not against me, O my enemy, because I'm going to rise again, basically, is what it says. It's like, in the darkness, the Lord will be a light to me. He will be there for you. Um, I think the days with the beard are numbered. It's been fun. I've had a good time with it, but I'm thinking we're gonna start over. So, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It's you're not too much for him. Like your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, and stuff like that. It's not too much for him. You can tell him anything that's going on, anything you feel stressed about, anything you want help with, and the answers will come. May not come how you would expect it, but he will. He will come through for you. So I think it's really tough because I feel like I'm in this in between spot where it's like I know that I can't go back to anything that like any things I've done in the past that would not be good or helpful. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm really there with doing the new stuff either. So we're sort of in this weird in between. But God is also in the in between. He's also able to take care of the here and now. He's able to hold the future and to prepare me and build me up for whatever is ahead. And a lot of it is just celebrating the little wins and just recognizing like, hey, like, you know, this could have been better, but I'm also glad I'm still here. What's up, Alvin? It's like I'm also like obviously these things could be better, but like I still showed up, right? Like I still showed up. And yeah, it's like sometimes I have these ideas and dreams and stuff I want to do, and some people might say like that's weird or that's too much or that's pretty out there. But end of the day, if you talk to God about those things, He can give you the thoughts to accomplish it. Proverbs 16:3, commit thy works unto the Lord, and all thy thoughts will be established. And there's multiple verses that say that very similar thing. It's like, I understand how you feel right now. I understand the difficulty of your current financial, romantic, other situation. Perhaps it might seem really, really rough, but God is able to change things very quickly. He's able to heal the wounded souls. He's able to lift you up and do amazing, wonderful things. So I know sometimes I've had this thought about being too much for Him, and I'm not, and you're not. Because what God wants us to do is He wants us to expand our being and be the best that we can possibly be and not shrink ourselves into this little box. Satan would want us to be small, silent, and shrunk, just like doing nothing, accomplishing nothing. And he's already got a lot of people that are serving sin, and that doesn't really take you anywhere. So I think that's really one of the toughest things is like when you do fall into some kind of sin, you recognize like this, I'm actually not going anywhere right now. All this is doing is running all these programs in my brain, and you know, it's just not great. But end of the day, like you give it to the Lord, and that's where everything is secure and everything is gonna be fine. So I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen next week. I don't know what's gonna happen in a year. I really don't. Yesterday, I walked up and down the hallway just to imagine where I'd like to be in a year, and I think that was helpful. And I want to keep doing that. I don't want to nerf myself in any way, shape, or form by sleeping in or getting distracted on something. Like I just want to be what he wants me to be and accepting it. So many times when I do these recordings, it's what I need to do. It's what I need to hear too. Well, I appreciate that, Alvin. Yeah, I appreciate that. It looks so good today. Yeah, God is good. God is faithful. He'll give you strength to show up. He'll give you words to say. Like I literally had that happen today in multiple experiences where I just went over and encouraged the person or talked to them. And I think when you're really excited about your future and enjoying the present, that you just kind of have this glow about you. And I like to have that glow about me and to just really, really, really be who he wants me to be, man. I mean, life is really, really so short at the end of the day. His hair is crazy. But we're definitely gonna get it cut and start over. Um, but you're not too much for God. You're not too much. I think physical appearances, something like, these things, they can cause us to feel inadequate or too much. And yet, God always sees you as you truly are and as you can be. And so, He only sees you as His child that is perfectly worth loving and has divine potential. And I think that's important to remember that no matter how you show up to God's table, no matter how you do any of these things, he sees you as enough. He sees you as being pretty amazing. If you give anything back to the homeless, what would it be possible? Yeah, I mean, I intend to do whatever God can help me to do. I was thinking about it today when I got my Wendy's paid for by my friend. It's like 6 months from now. I'd love to take somebody to Wendy's and pay for their Wendy's in a car. And I think that's possible. I believe that's very possible. Doing these little daily live streams helps me to show up better in my day to day, and I believe that anything's possible with God. And I also believe I'm not too much for him, so I need to spend more time with him, not less, and tell him everything that's going on, every single little thing that's going on in my brain. If I could just tell him every single thing that's going on, that'd be a lot. And and I know I have those times where I'm like, all right, I'm probably annoying you at this point, and probably this is probably too much, um, but it's not. He can take it. He can take it. He's heard everything at this point. You think of all the people that have prayed to God over the years. I'm sure he's heard literally everything. So he just wants you to be happy, to have joy. You're not going to get this time back, so he wants you to appreciate the time that you have and to appreciate the blessings and to live in those and to not run from those and to just be here right now and to recognize you're not too much for him. And that if there's something he's told you, then he is able to make a way for it to happen. So, you know, like I definitely have these times where I look at where I'm at and I'm like, gosh, I'm not doing enough as far as like I'm technically the oldest in my family. I mean, my older brother has autism, so I'm like technically the oldest, and I look at it and I'm like, gosh, I really don't feel like I'm doing enough. But when you trust in what God sees, then you start to see like I think we're actually doing okay. Um, and you can tell him anything, and he has so much compassion when you fall short or make a mistake. Like he just wants you to get back up. And it's really tempting. Something I've struggled with is I compare where I'm at to other people. Um, I was working for my friend's startup last year, but I was let go at the end of the right before Christmas. Um, they needed he needed to put those resources elsewhere. So I am currently looking. I'm sure I'll find something. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's just kind of that faith to move forward, faith to believe, even when reasons for believing seem to be extinguished or gone, right? It's almost like there's this flame that's helped you out, right? This campfire flame, and then when it goes out, it's like sticking around near the fire before it goes back on because you know that anything is possible. And there's no point in leaving the campfire because you've already been in the woods before. There's bears, there's everything else out there. So you're just like, I'm just gonna stay right here, even if people think I'm weird. Um, yeah, it's it really is gonna be okay. Um, Temptations are definitely there to test you and to help you to give your all to God, everything. Because if there's something you're holding back from Him, there's something that you just aren't giving to Him freely, then that is where you're not free. That is where you are more or less not able to contribute as much as you would like to. And it takes time, man. It takes time. We all would like to get to those amazing blessings in a blink of an eye. We'd all like to have a lot of these things taken care of, but the reality is that it's uh it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. And a lot of it's like, are you going to be kind to yourself in this situation? Um no, it's okay. Yeah, it's just early. It's just a really this is a very early game. Like, we're very early in the game. Um, but God is just teaching me these things like that you truly I'm not too much from him. And he knows everything I've ever written or said or done or anything else. He knows what I'm going to do. He knows all that stuff. And he's able to like put this in this perfect alignment that you just feel so good about yourself because you know you're walking with him and you know that it's going to be okay and you know that you're not perfect, but you're alive and you're giving your all to him and you recognize that you're not too much. And there's something really beautiful about that. When you think that you're too much for God or for anybody else, it might cause you to want to be less than yourself. It might cause you to, you know, comparing yourself to other people and be like, I just wish I was a little more worldly like that person because that person clearly has money and I don't have money. So why am I doing this God thing? And that, of course, is not the right attitude at all. So it's uh it's gonna be okay. I mean, today I woke up, had the sniffle. Voice isn't 100%, but yet God is still faithful. Obviously, He's still good. I got to go to the temple with my friend today, and then we went to Wendy's. And so God really does understand, and you really are not too much for Him. Like, you think of all the people, there's probably been people that have gone through more. Not like you want to compare it in that way, but he really is able to take care of you. We're going to go for 30 minutes. I think that's usually what we shoot for. So that's our minimum. That's what I do every day. This is probably day 5 or 6 in a row of doing a daily live stream. So subscribe if you'd like to see more. I do believe that things are going to improve, but it's just that obedience, walking in obedience. Like I had the thought to name it this, about you're not too much for God, and that's humbling, but that's the truth. So, but I think the other thing important is that your new self and the old self cannot coexist. It's one or the other. If you're trying to be both, it isn't going to work. James 1:4 says, let patience have her perfect work and be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. James 1:8 says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Matthew 6:24 says that no man can serve two masters. And it goes on and on and on. So like, I think of John 15:16, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, that whatsoever, basically is whatsoever you sow shall remain. So basically, like, God has chosen you. It'll choose you over and 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 over again. Even if you're having a really, really rough day, God would still choose you. The real question is if you're going to choose God. It's like, you might feel tempted, stressed, hurt, broken, tempted, um, whatever it is. But the question is, are you, and God's still going to choose you. He's still going to make these amazing things happen in your life. The question is, are you going to choose him? Are you gonna, or are you gonna think, oh, I'm too much for God. I can't talk to him about this, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God doesn't have time for me because this reason and this reason, and I'm just wasting his time, blah, blah, blah. If you're willing to put that stuff to the side, swallow your pride, and just talk to him about all this stuff, you'll find that he's a gracious, loving Father in heaven who knows your name and he knows your potential. It says in James 1:5 and 6, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that give to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with wind and tossed. So ask with that firmness unshaken. Ask with that true belief that you will receive it, and walk in it. Walk in it. Walk in it like you already have it. Like there's no reason to stress. You've already received it. You're like, woo, is that beautiful feeling of gratitude and that peace. I appreciate the subscription, Alvin. I do believe things are gonna get a lot better. So I'm optimistic. So I think one of the other big lessons from today is like being a quickly obedient. Like the faster that you just move and you just give it to God, that is the faster that you can see your day turn around, that you can see things more how he sees them, and so you can be delivered, ultimately delivered. And yeah, it takes time, man. It takes time. It's difficult to have these moments where you just really feel like it isn't working, and you're trying, it's just not working. Um, or it seems like it's taking forever or whatever. But just remember, you just have to do this one day at a time. You don't have to have any crazy rocket ship progress in a day. I certainly have felt that stress, but ultimately, you have your own little thing that you're taking care of. You have your own flock, and as long as you're taking care of the flock, as long as you're helping them, I think you're going to be okay. If you're helping others to be spiritually fed, then God can obviously send things to help you be spiritually fed, and it's going to be okay. You'll obviously miss out on blessings by getting distracted. You'll obviously miss out on blessings for falling into temptation. God can obviously help you out and restore you and stuff, but there's always there's always a blessing for choosing Him over the world, choosing Him over temptation, choosing Him over whatever the case might be. He knows where you're tempted. He knows where you're stressed. He knows all that stuff perfectly. So you're not too much for Him. You have a channel with 5 subscribers. That's cool, man. Yeah, yeah. I did some self development videos on here, and then I did some faith videos, and I've made some shorts and stuff. But yeah, ultimately, like if you have a goal for your channel, then you can make some videos about how you're working towards that goal and probably see the channel grow, assuming that it gets served to other people that are working towards, something in that same lane. So I think I can be really quick to forget how good God is and how good He'll always be. And I can't afford to do that because, like, no man can serve 2 masters, right? So you have to be really intentional. So that's that. Moving into my new place has been good. Still trying to figure out some stuff. Still trying to get some things figured out. But overall, I'm grateful. Grateful. I'm humbled. I want to apply this message to my life and every single part of it. Um, talk to God more, not less. Talk to Him about the places I feel stressed. Talk to Him about just the fear and all of the highs and lows, like everything. Just let Him know everything. So I am grateful that I have this outlet to talk. And I just kind of want to remind you again, you're not too much for God. He really does care about you and your future. And you're not too much for Him. So it might take you some time to figure that out. Might take some trial and error. But yeah, you'll find that the more you are yourself and just seeking the Lord every day, the more you are just enjoying your time in the scriptures and just working on things, you're going to see tons and tons of miracles flow into your life. So, and you got to understand that God has compassion on you and He cares about you and He will help you out. So, that's that. We've been going for about half an hour. So thank you for watching. We try to keep these around half an hour. Like half an hour is like kind of the minimum. And then maybe we go a little bit farther if that's kind of where the stream is going. But I think this is probably a good place to conclude. I am very humbled. Very humbled with how the Lord helps me to let go. Oh, that was like a chill. Helps me let go of the past to seize a better future, and how He just really wants what's best for us. So Yeah, if Dallin in the future's watching this, bro, just remember you're not too much for him. Go as deep with him as you desire because he will meet you right there and he'll help you out to get where you need to go. There's no reason to shame yourself, no reason to feel stressed about things. Just give it to God. It's going to be fine. So that's what I will leave you with. Thank you so much for watching. I know that Jesus is the Christ and that he's looking out for us every day and that you're not too much for God and that he loves you and is looking out for you. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. I will catch you guys tomorrow or whenever I see you again. But I wish you all the best. And yeah, thanks for watching. God is good.